morning and good evening. Welcome back to the stream. Yep, I have nothing lined up for today. Just going to continue with the just playing around with 3D and seeing what works but doesn't. Maybe testing out some ideas. I don't know, just playing around with physics. And yeah, that's going to be it. Yesterday was I guess I can talk about that a little bit later, but yesterday after the stream was quite a lovely day. Just did some stuff on my own, for life stuff. Then watch Doctor Who. Living the dream, honestly. At the same time, it did feel a little bit like, I don't know. You know how there's this feeling sometimes that it's like vacation, but it also feels kind of like vacation, but like break time, and it feels kind of forced. Um, that's a little bit of how it felt, but at the same time, I kind of used it. I just got rolled into it, and then it was fine at the end of it. So, yeah, still happy with it. So, what can I do, and what do I want to do? So, velocity.y. Oh, okay, yeah. Linear velocity is a vector 3 is equal to 10. No, can't assign directly to. Okay, yeah, I can, but I did it wrong. There we go. So now, this should just do a jumping thing. Yeah, there we go. Wow, it's pretty darn fast. What's interesting is that it does assign. So, here velocity.x. Since we're on the x-axis, just want it to be equal to, there's no need to do a times delta. Yeah, right is 5. Left is -5. Okay. It's interesting how it applies forces not where I'd expect. Yeah, so that all works like I expected to. Oh. So why does this make it so that it falls and speeds up slower? Interesting. So I guess maybe that is a difference. Those cancel out a bit in a way. I'm curious. So world, no, not world. Um, yeah, so like that's interesting. The actual like velocity, but I guess that's because I don't really know linear velocity. Okay. Use enter. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. What about forward? So yeah. So axis lock. If I do axis lock in the x-axis, yeah, there we go. So now we just have something that spins, and that's it. Hmm. One more beans. And maybe some walls. So this rotated. Box. Huh. It's interesting. It does make the good calculations, but only if you don't really do that much with the inputs. If I start doing things, then kind of breaks out. Okay. It's interesting how it's damping, even though, or it says friction. It might be friction. How do I make this frictionless? Do mass. Yeah, let's make this a large mass. Mass distribution. Sleeping, can sleep, block rotation, free position, solver, linear velocity. Okay. Yeah, right now nothing of the ordinary. So friction always does some stuff. Oh, I guess that's one way. Okay, it's me. Hi. Good evening. Good evening, Steffi. Completely forgot you were streaming tonight. All good. I do believe it happens. Like, in a way, I also like. I yesterday also forgot that I was streaming today, so you're not alone. Like in the sense that I kind of have changed. Like, it's interesting how much like compared to the very beginning, I was definitely planning for streams in the morning a lot more than now. Now I think it's just kind of go with it and that's it. And I'm not gonna jump to conclusions too early, but it kind of feels like I should think about that and maybe think of just some things to change it up. Like be excited about it again, you know. Because right now it's very inconsistent. Like some days it's my Twitch is lagging so much it's not even funny. Ooh, damn. Hopefully that fixes itself. But yeah, what I was saying. Oh, it's just become really inconsistent, and I'm hoping that I don't know. I'll try to. It's not even letting you finish your sentence. Damn. Um. Okay. Let alone load. Can it be on my side? No, that one looks fine. That looks fine. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Sorry. Hopefully it gets better on your side. Oh yeah. By the way, how was it with The Sims 4? Did it finally? Did you finally fix it? Like, did it actually start cooperating? Right, I know why. The one forest is kind of going against all of it. Yeah, so they aren't bouncy. They're absorbent. Mm-hmm. Guess I can give like the new physics material. Make it bounce. Let's not have any friction. interesting. I have no idea what is moving. What is taking away energy from this? If anyone's asking, what am I even doing? Where am I going with this? The answer is, I don't know myself, but I am going somewhere. Is this related to like the game that I'm working on? I don't know. Maybe. Genuinely don't know. Okay, that's how you get some speed. Yeah, let's try. I guess moving these here. Okay, well, I don't think I can see on the stream. Just notice any of my devices. I'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully with a better internet connection. Yeah. Good luck. Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening. And good luck. Good luck. Internet. Also, hopefully, since working after. Uh, 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 yeah, thanks for dropping by. Hopefully, hopefully it'll like start working again afterwards. Okay, there we go. Now, it's kind of working. Can I get like a forward direction? So, what do I even have in? Oh, I kind of like check here. So, angular damp, velocity, can't sleep, constant force, constant torque, constant tact monitor, continuous, CD, custom integrator, freeze mode, gravity scale, inertia. What is inertia? Okay. Yeah, so that's that. Linear dampo, lock rotation, mass. Max contacts reported, physics. Material override sleeping, method scripts, integrate force, that's constant. Position at constant. So there is no forward vector per se. Inherits physics body forward. Forward collision object. Forward. Not here. Node 3D. And Node 3D crashed the documentation, which is cool. Physics. Node 3D. Okay. Forward. Yeah, but there's no way to get what's the forward direction, right? Get forward action. What is global transform basis? Global basis. What is it? It's equal to 5. So this is a quaternion? Transform pretty base. But wait, no, it can't be a quaternion since it doesn't have the quaternion stuff. Okay. Wait, so global transform. Oh, okay. Find inverse basis. Looking at. No, this is to look at. Translates. I'm missing something. Global transform.basis.c. Global basis dot x. Velocity. Wait, so this is actually. But it was showing that it was rotating the whole thing. Wasn't it? Yeah, it is rotating the whole thing. But velocity is still set in the x direction. So then how would I make it so that it's setting it left to where it is facing? Or to up where it is facing? Because I need a vector. Okay, let's try some other examples. Right, so up is transform basis dot y. Transform y. Oh wait, basis.y is a vector free. Huh. Okay. Cool. Nice. So it's a matrix of vectors. Transform. Wait, but did it say that? No, it is the right direction. Yes. Okay. Transform basis dot y. So linear. Times 10. There we go. Okay. So now if I go like so. Yeah, so they like now move into their directions. And they clip out. Okay. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So now at least I know how like directionalities work, which is going to be useful. Now, guess let's take another times delta times delta. Let's say velocity is equal to local basis dot x times 5 times delta basis dot x times 5 times delta. Oh, interesting. Oh, I know why. So this is increasing. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's kind of like the more you touch it, the more it kind of breaks, but the more you let it do its thing, the smoother it goes. If you do stuff in impulses, then it's kind of smooth and it works out. But if you constantly do something that it always kind of doesn't know what it's supposed to do, oh boy. Okay. On the other hand, the collisions are working. That's nice. Just playing with beans. Okay, I had a question on a game jam once. How do you make this go orthographic? So, keep aspect, environment, attributes. vertical. Blur, exposure, out exposure. Resource, no. Compositor, no compositor. No. Doppler tracking, projection, orthogonal. Okay, so that's orthogonal. Was frustum. Yeah, so I guess that's for frustum calling, but so perspective, orthogonal. And now it is, since it is orthogonal, I need to increase the size. Yeah, there we go. So, and then now I do have beans, 3D beans inside what looks like a 2D environment. That's an interesting effect. That is a very interesting effect. Kind of looks fake, but could you even get that, like, by drawing? Like, could you even get that in reality? I guess you could if you made the shape kind of not go inwards but go outwards, or it was very, very, very thin. But it does, but then shadow would go on top of the border and not work out. Okay, so what am I even doing? What am I even doing? Right now, Hey, final turn. Welcome back. How have you been doing? Oh, actually, I don't remember if you posted anything yesterday, but how's it going? How is the project? Posted anything in chat. I am almost finished with doing the X setup. I actually didn't post anything this week. It was an off week for me because I was sick. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. I hope you're feeling better like now. Also props to you for like giving yourself some time off, like while sick. Hopefully. Yeah, if that's a giving yourself time off thing sounded weird, it's like it's kind of a Lithuanian thing. I know maybe it's like a thing in lots of countries, but Lithuanians are very, very bad at like taking rest when they're sick. It's a thing. Like I don't know, maybe it's more common than I think, but at least here it's really, really common. Right. It's so weird. I am kind of just tempted to get started, but also I have absolutely no idea what I want to do right now. So it's kind of like right now, this is kind of preparation for the game jam, so to say. Like there's no game jam happening. It's just gonna be like me trying to get into it and like making a proper full on like idea, but like not oh, I'm gonna do this for 2 days and I'm gonna do this for a bit longer until like it's done and then keep iterating on that. But the idea is to finally make the game's prototype that I'm going to make. That's gonna happen. Oh, I thought you were prepping for Ludum Dare. No, I think I'm gonna skip at least a couple of game jams for now. I will definitely do them once I need like a break from my own thing. But maybe Ludum Dare would have been like a good reason to kind of skip it. And but I just want to try the thing that I'm doing a different way, because right now I had like that research phase where I was just trying to make tools. But the problem was that I didn't really scope myself, so I was making stuff that I wasn't potentially going to even use in the future. So on Thursday, or even Wednesday, I don't know, I'm just going to sit down. I am going to like write out what is it exactly that I want to make, and then I am going to start making. And the first step of that is going to be I am going to make the simplest, most janky solution to what I write out, make the simplest prototype possible, and then work my way up from there. Problem is, I actually don't even know what I want to make, because the reason why I was even doing the research stuff in the first place was I don't to this time, I don't really have a clear idea of what I'm making right now. Like, I know what I would like to be making, like, let's say 8 years in the future, what I would like the final iteration of this to look like. But that is very obviously out of scope, and I'm not sure if it's smart to assume that, oh, okay, I'll just work as if I had like a team of 20 or 50 people like working on this. Um, um, hey dude, hope you're doing well. It's 4 a.m. here, so I can't stay long, but I'll leave you on for the night for the number since you're over 50 now. Let's get you that affiliate. Hey, Shano, thank you very much for that. Yeah. Um, yeah, have a good night's sleep then. Yeah, and thank you for sticking around. Why not identify a piece of your final project and try to make that piece? Yeah, so that's, I think, that is what I am trying to decide upon. And I know, weirdly, I think I've also kind of been avoiding that question, because, okay, like, so I can't wait for bed, but I'll be here one way or another. Okay, yeah, nice. Have a good stream, dude. Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Bye. So, where's my Milton? So, to go back to the question of the thing kind of goes in layers, and let's just say that say basic, medium, and core. I don't know what's medium, like in between stuff. I don't know why I'm even drawing this. I guess let's start that. So what I know, like for a fact, definitely can't. Even that I actually, I'm saying I know for a fact and I can't really do without it. But the first thing I thought what I need is the combat system. The combat system, because I need something. Give player symbols, right? Give player symbols. symbols. So I guess in that sense, the one thing that I definitely do know that is supposed to happen, so is like the game AI. That is a given. This is not going to be a solo game. Give player world. I guess give player story in a sense. So like the characters are the story, but also like together with the world. And I can kind of go two routes here. So I know that I could say, okay, I'm not going to do combat. I'm going to do something a lot simpler. And I'm just going to try to do the idea of, the game is trying to understand you. You are kind of an unknown piece of it. And like I've had a demo like that, like an idea for a demo like that in my head before. But it was also kind of difficult to tie it into the whole bigger picture of the game series. So I'm really not sure because what would be the expectation of people who, let's say, the first game they played was a kind of pseudo chess like turn based combat game, right? And then the next game is like a full time, real time combat game, kind of Souls like. It's kind of, it sounds similar to what happened to Final Fantasy, I believe, but Final Fantasy is also, I'm not sure if it's completely like, if it's completely real time right now. It's a mix, I believe. I haven't played any of the newer Final Fantasy games, but yeah, I guess making a turn-based like strategy game would lend. There were some transition games that played around with a mix of time and turn-based. Okay, yeah, yeah. Like I'm just trying to think like what would be the. I guess in the end, I I shouldn't box myself in just because okay, this is actually feeling a little bit more like I'm getting that feeling of okay, the haze is lifting. I shouldn't really restrict myself with genre. I need to understand what is the absolute core of this game, and I define that the core of my game is that I want players to get into a world that they don't belong to in a way, and have the game try to understand them, like have the players feel understood. And nowhere in that like description, like that description is also not final, but that's like what I've been kind of telling myself for a longer time. uh uh Bino for the hello dude, girlfriend left her PC on, so got you another view for the night. It's Shano again. Electricity tomorrow problem. Have a good stream, dude. Hey, thank you again, Shadow Beto. That is also. Uh, I hope your girlfriend knows about that. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you much for the view, my dude. Thank you. Oh, can I say that? Yep, sure. I think you're thinking about this a little too abstractly. Very, very possible. Yes. Yes, very possible. I pay the electricity. It's my problem for another day. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, where was I? Right. Like, but the reason why I'm thinking too abstractly is I know why I'm thinking too abstractly. Like, why am I so fixated on? I guess the reason why I am fixated on this is that it's all about the question if am I doing what I should be doing right now? Like, I have ideas for other games that are smaller scope, much easier to achieve, uh, definitely more doable. And I guess they're not as thought out as this one, but I could go with them. Like I could spend, I don't know, a month, two, and I could port my board game that I designed to be a PC thing, like a kind of Jackbox style game, and have that and release it. Like I am very confident I could do it in. Okay, I'm saying 2 months, but then let's say for completeness, 4 months. Like I could do that in 4 months. But then again, I would have that question of why am I making this other game if I could be making this one? I don't know. So now I'm trying to what I'm trying is to figure out is what what is the smallest thing I can make from this game idea that I would still find acceptable. Well, you're cultivating your skills, and if you release to sell, it could be a source of revenue. That is very true. That is very true. That would just give me, it would give me stability. It would, like, I would get better skills, etc. I would know how to use Godot better. Question is if I am just not ready for this game yet or not. Okay, I think I know what I need to do. Um, yeah, like you said a good point. I need to stay less abstract. So I need to at least try. I need to try making the smaller scope, like the smallest scope version that I can. Like even just like writing it out. What would that look like? What would need to be there? And just see, okay, it needs that, that, and that. And then try making it. And then see, okay, can I possibly make this in the next 2 years? Or is it still something that if I did alone, it would take like 5, 7, 10, or whatever years? If that is the case, then yeah, I have to go the route of making something simpler, like getting, like, kind of cultivating my skills, getting some revenue, and then trying to get more people on board. But if not, then I guess I'll just go for it. Okay, so speaking of like reducing, I guess first let's start off with what is there. So let's go. It's mind mapping time. Haven't done this in a hot minute. So we have the game. So the first thing, it's kind of the game AI. The AI. The AI. Then we have like the combat. The world environment. So I guess world. Then So I guess the story is mostly based on the AI. Story. If I were you, I'd try to work on projects that are doable in less than a year. Any larger and you risk spending way too much on a game that might require even more time release. Yeah, I am very much aware of that risk. Well, I haven't released anything, so I'm not that aware of that risk, but I imagine that risk. Like, something less than a year can, it's easier to just kind of predict. So can I turn this into a year project? Like, not a demo thing, but like an actual, like, because I don't want okay, is a 2 to 3 hour game reasonable? 2 to 3 hour. 2 to 3 hour game. Story, the combat, the world. Okay, so it doesn't need all the extra stuff, I hope. Like in terms of like what you can do, the jobs, etc. But it also needs a world that is livable. So very obviously this is the biggest point right here. So all the AI stuff, just for giving people options, that's kind of the difficulty. And I can't have a game with just one, or can I? Can I have a game with just one AI? Like one character and that's it. You and them. It's kind of a fighting game, technically. Hmm. Combat. Um, less than 1 year. Still feels like this. Okay, let's say I completely forgo all of the AI stuff. So basically, none of the game is scripted. It's like it's traditional standard game where things kind of just happen as they should. The game characters wait for you to do stuff. You have quests, missions. There's a storyline, etc. It's a smaller game. Let's say it's more so like kind of like a Legend of Zelda style or Tunic style thing. And then I could have the AI be adaptable when you fight. So that would be just a game with its core focus on combat. And then I could have a couple of levels. So I can have like one starting area. I could have a couple of branches where I just walk out, make like 2 to 3 bosses, turn that into a 2 to 3 hour experience. And then the bosses kinda, I could also do the idea that you don't actually get killed. There's permadeath, but you don't get killed that easily, and you can recover and you can try again, and that kind of goes to that vibe. Um, yeah, like a small little town, mostly about fighting, very minimal interactions. So basically, all I just would need is a fun combat system. and then the story would just unveil somehow. It would just be a linear story. I guess it could have some branching. So that would let me make the world. That would let me focus on the thing that has to be immediately fun, because that is the smallest loop. Even in the final thing, I guess the combat is the smallest loop, or is it the smallest loop? That actually is a question. That is a very good question I haven't asked yet. What is the smallest loop of the final thing? Because I just kind of, because I only now realize that it might just be a bit too long cycle. Like you kind of need to build it up. So you're walking about. So can I make saying yes and no a small cycle? Only if I ask lots of questions. But if I'm asking lots of questions, I risk annoying people early on. So I guess combat needs to be like the small cycle. Okay, yeah, that's really good for the future, I guess. Um, what is, I guess, questions even better. What is the game's small cycle? Small gameplay loop, I guess. Because I don't actually even know if it has one. Like it only has very big gameplay loops, and that is not a good sign right now. Like in the future, yeah, it like future meaning that the more players play, the more gameplay loops they'll have. But the very beginning sounds tough. So what if I just make a game that has like a game that's just fun for the beginning, and that has the story is like a turn-based strategy kind of game, just more fun? Is it easier to do that? Because that loop is just you pick your action and then something happens. Also, it's a lot more limiting. Okay, so option 2 is I make a turn-based. Basically, I make Fire Emblem free houses, but I downscope first of all, and I kind of do it with my idea of how the game is. Also, there is no. I do not. You do not control the different characters, or is it just a purely aesthetic interaction? Okay. So. If I can control the game characters, then that can be frustrating. I like a reduced scope turn based combat, seems very approachable, especially if you want to use it as a way to work on AI. Yeah, that is definitely a good point. like it's interesting. So if I want to work more on the AI, then yeah, the turn-based one definitely seems a lot better. Whereas the combat one is just a bit, it's more the safer option in that it's very obvious what would be a closed like a gameplay loop there. It's pretty obvious. With the turn-based one, it's not that obvious. But with the turn-based one, I know an example by which I would like to make it. And also it more strongly resembles the final thing that I would try to do. Also, funnily enough, the very first ideas for this game of what I wanted to make were actually a turn-based strategy game. Like the very, very first ideas that I still have notes where I'd written down like stat values and ranges as if the game was supposed to be like just on a grid, like a grid with slots. So that's interesting. I can return to that, I guess. Then I wouldn't have to like worry about the player controller and all of the difficulties with having a real-time game, since just a lot less has to happen, a lot less has to be checked, a lot less bug fixing, edge cases, etc. Like there's still edge cases, but hopefully it will be a bit less. I think I'm gonna have to go with so. Yeah, so we have the turn-based strategy game, or we have the more combat-oriented one. I might potentially just even try to do both. Like make really, really quick prototypes of the combat game and then also of the strategy and just see which one is more fun. Because it kind of splits the game either this way or it splits the game this way. That's a solid plan. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for actually suggesting some really nice ideas, like with the less than 1 year stuff, and yeah, like I don't know, it's you have helped my mind stay a lot clearer today. So yeah, I guess that's basically it. So that's the plan of what. Now the question is, which one do I do first? And interestingly enough, I actually want to do this one first. So, but also, this one feels like it would be faster. And I have done tons of AI. Okay, so this one feels like it's going to be make a character controller and then make an AI system that is for combat, basically. This one feels like there's going to be a lot more behind the scenes stuff of other stuff to do. So I think this one is going to be the better break. So, right, it's decided. It's decided I'm going to start with the turn-based strategy route for this game, and I'm going to try to focus on the AI and the story. So it means that combat is going to be really easily resolved. I'll just make some kind of simple like triangle strategy thing. I can then use like the stats system that I created for my turn-based like tabletop RPG thing. I have a good I have a great reference point. So I have Fire Emblem, free houses. Um, yeah, 2 to 3 hours. What else? I guess I have to decide. Same world. Yeah, so the world is the same. What time is it, and what is really happening that you would, and also, how do I take, how do I approach the idea of closed world, open world? Open world means open world. Open world feels like it increases the complexity of everyone, like everything exponentially. Because then the question is, how do you transition if it's like a turn-based? How do you not get bored traveling through like huge areas just because it's turn-based? Like, what's happening with that? Like, so, hmm. Okay, yeah. And then where does it start? I guess it starts with just like a little town, like where it usually does. And then something appears. Something appears, you fight it, you get a help, and you can't really control it. But what's the fun in a turn based strategy game if you only control one character, like you don't control a party? What is the fun in that? Hmm. Wait, I can make this work. Ooh, I do know what to do then. But it's gonna be interesting. Um, Guardians. Okay, yeah, that could work out. Okay, and on this side, what do we have? We have, okay, combat world. So basically, same thing. 100% closed world. Um, 3 bosses. Like maybe one companion character. Or none even. Then enemies, yeah. And then do you interact with anything? I'm not sure. Oh wait, this actually, I could see this one. I could kinda see this one. So the idea for this one would be is you would be like stuck kind of in a way in a valley. Like here's you. Like there are some houses here and some people doing stuff. And the game just kind of progresses. And enemies appear over time. You don't really have a way of leaving. And you're playing together with some kind of companion, like a helper companion. They could also leave and new ones could join in. Like, so I would have absolute full control of the environment to do the absolute best case scenario for the game AI. Like everything, I could control the like battle arenas, and since it would be just the same little city, I could control which characters are at the same time so that I could make sure that they are able to interact with each other. So like I wouldn't need to have like an interaction system between like every single enemy and like the helper characters, etc. So that would be a very, very controlled environment, restricted, a very, very closed game, just all one little town, one little screen. That would work too. And that would very heavily focus on the I could very heavily focus on both the AI stuff and the combat. So the world wouldn't be an issue, assets wouldn't be an issue. The only thing that would be there is to make sure the game is kind of fun, the game is playable, and it has some of that interactiveness elements that I would want. And that is very, very small. Like, it is literally small. The game would be very, very tiny. That would also work. That is very much... This one would not give the player that much choice. But what it would do, so like it wouldn't let you... It kind of forces you to fight. Like, all of these scenarios are based on fighting, but maybe I could do the options, but I thought that, oh, you can have like kind of other characters fight for you in a sense. Like, you can get them to do that. You can maybe get characters to stay. Maybe you can get like some way of notifying others, etc. But this one is a bit more, because the larger the play space, the larger the free will of the player and the ability to make choices, because that is the easiest way to have players make choices is with the world, with where they go, what they do, who they interact with, etc. If I restrict that heavily, I am not really giving them that many options. So then, okay, but this one might work. I'm confused with this one, but it might work. I guess I could make it like a couple of more areas if I see that there is nothing, but like for the first iteration, this might work. Yeah, and for this one, I need this setting. Like, what's happening, where is it happening, etc. Okay. Hey, there's something to work with now. And that is great. All right. I think that's enough brain scratching for today. But yeah, that is so much clearer now. So yeah, like, thank you, Final Turn, again, for just kind of initiating this. I know I started talking, but also it just really feels like you initiated it. So just thank you very much for that. Like, this sets my mind at ease a lot more, knowing that, okay, I actually have options, and now I can kind of see I see the two simple prototypes. So the first simple prototype is just make a very, very small play area with a character that is a helper character, some enemies, and then the player can control themselves and they play around in this little sandbox, right? And it has the ability to grow without scope going out of control completely, because I'm always in very tight control of the environment. And so that is basically how I do things. But it has a risk of not really having that much, not giving that much to do for the player. So it would never feel like, oh, you would actually have like it would never feel like you don't belong, and it also would never feel like, or maybe I can still do that. No, wait, I can't still do that. Never mind. I'm thinking too ahead of myself. Yeah. Because the town defenders, that is who you are playing with. Okay, yeah, so that one is fine. And then this one is just, I kind of make Fire Emblem free houses, but mini, and also closed. Yeah, I'm not doing open world. That is not happening. That is, I can't fill an open world with stuff, so it has to be a closed world, but you can kind of, the question is sections? Like, can you free movement between sections? Or is it completely level driven? Sections or levels? Once again, it goes back to the idea that if I have something with like free movement between sections, anything can interact with anything, and that balloons the complexity of things out of control. So I imagine levels, just because I am not that confident that I could make free movement between sections. So it would just be a couple of levels with, like, I guess, puzzle elements to the combat. And I am not quite sure how to do the interactiveness, but I guess that would be something. And I know how to fix the issue that you only have one character. So I could make it a couple characters, definitely. Okay. All right, I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much to everyone for joining and watching. Have a lovely rest of your day. Get better soon, Final Turn. And I will see you all tomorrow.